Oh, yes, and we are live. Welcome to Olympia TV.
Hello,
And
hello, hello.
today we have actually a great conversation.
Yep.
We're waiting for our guest, Jessica Reyes Padilla. She will be joining us. But
Yes.
before we get started, I'm Linda Murray, 8 times Miss Olympia, and joining me to wrap up and talk about our awesome figure division. Let me start with Wendy Fortino. She's been on that Olympia stage 7 times. Yay.
Yeah.
And we're getting ready for this season,
Oh
right?
yes, we are. We are. We want to hear all about Jessica's plans in this upcoming season. I'm Oh, here she is. Here she is. Well, I'll
And,
add her after you introduce her. We'll do the she's gonna be fashionably late.
okay,
Fashionably late.
yes.
Okay.
And joining us, we cannot do this without the expertise of a professional at this. Mo Newman, she's an IFBB pro figure. She's also the vice chairman of the Carolinas,
Yeah.
and you are an IFBB and NPC judge.
Yes.
Yes.
And
Yes. So you've done it. You've done it all. You understand.
I actually have.
You actually have.
So thank you, ladies, for having me. I'm excited to chit chat with Jessica too, and
Of
I love that
course.
girl. So
She's fashionably late. Dun, dun,
And here
dun.
she is.
hey, Jessica.
Hello.
Hi, how are you guys?
Oh,
Very
we're
good.
great.
Awesome.
We're great. Hey, Olympia TV audience out there. We
Yes.
have a true champion. I think that Jessica Reyes Padilla, that you have probably more IFBB figure pro wins,
Yes.
period, than anything else.
She'll
I,
let us
I,
know.
I have 23 pro wins.
That's right.
Yes.
23 pro wins. And your first win, you won the NPC Junior Nationals in 2015,
Yes.
right?
I
Wow.
earned my pro card junior nationals in Chicago, and it was like pretty amazing. I think that I got like two options, like to do a national show, and for some reason I felt that I really want to like do that show, and that was meant to be. Because my coach in that moment wanted me to do New Jersey, and that got like two opportunities to actually have your to earn your pro card. It was first and second, but in Chicago, it was just the first place. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like telling him, listen, I really feel like I need to do the show. Let's
Mm-hmm.
go and do it. If that doesn't happen, then let's go for the next one. But
Yeah.
we got it on the first one.
Wow.
We're gonna
Wow.
get a lot more into that. We're gonna dive into that.
Hey,
Oh,
one
yeah.
good thing that she said, you guys, I love how she said she took control and said she wants to go ahead and do that. Where I always
Mhm.
tell athletes, you got to remember, yeah, your trainer is great and stuff, but you still, you got to be the,
Oh, yeah.
director of that
You're the
ship. Good
boss.
for you. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Good for
I
That's
you.
mean,
right.
that's something that I question myself sometimes when I talk with a lot of athletes and friends that I know that they also compete and they want to like do a certain show, and they're like, no, my coach doesn't want me to do this show. They want me to just do this one instead. And I'm like, okay. I mean,
That's
you
awesome.
are the one who choose which show you want to like do,
Mhm.
and like honestly, like coaches, you're paying them
Yeah.
like to
Yeah.
get you ready for the show that you
Yeah.
want to like do.
Mhm.
I mean, you could give like an advice as a coach, like I don't
Yeah.
think that you will be ready, but if it's enough time, the coach, it's the one that have to make you like
Mhm.
be ready for that show.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
So,
Like we've
so
been talking about that workshops. Yeah.
you basically make those decisions. Like
Yeah.
you are the person. Like in 23, you competed. You have won 5 titles, right? In 23, and guys, she is our reigning Miss Olympia Figure Masters champion, the
Yes.
first,
Yep.
The first.
the
That
first.
that title will be forever there.
Mhm. So
She
then
has
now,
won so many things that we have to spend the first 5 minutes just going over everything that she's won. So
mhm.
bear with us. We're gonna get into the meat and potatoes, but we gotta roll this out. We gotta roll this out.
Yes. Yeah,
Wow.
I mean, just like to give 23 pro wins, and honestly, it's been like more of them has been since 2019.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I always like want to like say every time that I get the opportunity is like 2019 for me was the moment that I realized that I was like done with myself, done with my own decisions. And in 2019, even though I was like raised in church,
Mhm.
that year is like when I decided completely to give up on myself and my own decisions and make
Let's
God.
actually share
Yes.
something about that, and I want to
Yeah.
hear you talk about that. But we have a little clip that I want to share with the
Yes.
audience because let's see, you you did talk about this, and I want to make sure that our audience, this was really
I think that one of the hardest period in my life was when my dad.
Oh my God.
I was like so angry, and I was like thinking about the decisions that I was making, and because of that, I decided just to get in my motorcycle, and that's where I have my accident.
Oh my gosh.
If you wouldn't see my, like, I didn't have a leg; it was like a ham from here to here, and I like all this. It was just like I burned my skin because I was not wearing like a jacket or anything. If I wouldn't have my helmet, I wouldn't be here. He passed away on November 1st, and I got my accident on November 29th. My mom almost died.
Mm.
This is a reality. We lose people that we love. We have like situations, for example, in my case, that motorcycle accident, but I didn't let that stop me. I use it as a motivation, like to keep going and push myself even harder and make it worth it. And I think that if that didn't happen, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing right now. But I truly believe that God have a purpose for everything, and just having that chance, like to touch other people's lives and change them completely, not just like physically, but mentally, spiritually, and also their health. I mean, it make it worth it.
Mm.
Wendy, like you made me cry. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. Well,
yeah,
we want our audience to know,
Yeah.
like,
that's
how true of a champion. I mean, just
And what
what
a
we go through
comeback.
off the
Yeah.
stage. That's an amazing story.
Thank you. Thank you
And you
so
have
much.
it captured. What
yeah,
is
Yeah, was that a GoPro camera on your helmet
yeah,
that captured that?
I was like with other people, like also like
yeah.
we were like a group.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
So yeah, it was
So
like
that
really,
was
really hard for me.
2019.
It
That
was
was
like no, was that was like before.
got
That
Mhm.
it.
was like before. That is why I decided like to do like bodybuilding and get more into it.
So what
And
Mhm.
year was
then
that?
that
What
was
year was?
that was 2014.
Got it.
That
Wow.
was 2014. And in 2019 is when I decided.
Mhm.
So like honestly, when God started like being in charge of my life, since
Mm.
2019, I haven't lost a pro show.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at your record, because your first Olympia in 2015, you placed 16th. And
Yeah.
then that very next year, well, not the next year, but I think in 2019, that's when you placed third.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I placed 16, then I placed eighth, then I placed fourth,
Right. Mm-hmm.
like for 3 years, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then like two second places. So I'm getting closer every year,
Yeah.
so it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're getting closer every year. You're currently second in the world,
Yeah.
and you did that last year. And my question to you is, going into 2024, I know you're with all of these titles and competing. I know you talk to the judges, you talk to promoters, you talk to the fans. Do you go up and did you ask for feedback after last year's Olympia, the Olympia before? Because you placed second
Yeah.
twice. So what do you have to do in 2024 to capture the Figure Olympia title?
Actually, what they told me was like to keep doing what I'm doing, because every time I'm just like getting closer, it's like
Mm-hmm.
very like the details. It's just it's very very close. That's
Mm-hmm.
what they told me. Nothing specific that
Mm-hmm.
they told me that I need to work on. They were
Mm-hmm.
like really really proud of me. They told me that this has been my best package ever. They compare myself honestly from this past Olympia to the year before, so I improved literally everything, like
Mm-hmm.
everything, and even like my confidence. I think that is it's
Yeah.
been one of the things that I improved the most.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And since last year, I was like, I opened myself and I said, I think that it wasn't not about the condition that I was like bringing or the package I was bringing on stage. Actually, was the lack of confidence that I was like showing on stage, because
Mm.
uh, I was not confident of myself, and
Mm-hmm.
that's something that is not, the judges cannot work on that, your coach cannot work on that. That's a work that you need to do with yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and just like to forget and let the past go away, let just like
Mm.
be the past behind you, and just like be willing to live your life in 100% in the present that you're living right now. So
Mm.
Can I add real quick, you guys, from a judge's point of view,
Yeah.
and I'm a hairstylist too, Jessica, you were
yes.
so polished from like
Yes.
toes all the way to the tip top of your head.
Yeah.
I've been a fan of yours. I've been fortunate enough to judge you before. I just noticed in this Olympia, even compared to your Masters O win, that I think like your overall classiness and polish. What made you choose? Because normally you braid your hair a lot, and I love your braids, but this
Mm-hmm.
softness of your hair, I mean, you look gorgeous.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Well, it's like when you really believe that, even though, because my feeling is not about just a title, I think
yeah,
that that was the year that I was gonna like bring my best, and I want to just impact like everybody, because I know that everybody was expecting me in my braids.
Uh-huh.
You want to
So
make
I
an
want to like
impact.
also like to soften like my look and look like more smoother and more feminine, and that is
yeah.
why we decide like to make that change,
Well, I think it was
and
Mm-hmm.
people love that. So
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
beautiful. Because a lot of times when I judge, not that make or break, on a
Mm-hmm.
scoring because it's on your body per se,
Right.
but still all those polish factors from your hair and makeup
Sure.
do matter. And I
Mm-hmm.
just, when I was looking at those pictures, it was phenomenal. It was just so flawless, and you were gorgeous. So I was
Mm-hmm.
just wondering
thank
what
you.
made you decide, the change there. I like it.
I think that like you said, you as a judge, like you see all those things, and we have like females on the Olympia judging panel, and I know that they pay more attention to that than actually like the guys.
Mm-hmm.
So so
Mm-hmm.
that is why we try like to look as feminine as we can, because that's
Mm-hmm.
one of the looks that all
Mm-hmm.
the judges like, even though
Mm-hmm.
we're carrying a lot of muscles and we have like the
Mm-hmm.
condition that we have. But we also need to look very feminine on stage,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
especially for figure, because we are still wearing the heels, and we could like wear like
Mm-hmm.
like our accessories and all of that, and I think that it complements everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to like to just go all in, just like looking as a
Yeah.
queen, as I feel.
Uh-huh.
Because that's one of the things I think, that in the way that you look at
Yeah.
yourself, it's like the way that you're gonna
Yeah.
show to the other people. And I
Yes.
truly believe last year, no, I'm the queen.
Yeah.
I deserve this. I'm bringing my
Mhm.
best, and
Yeah.
everything that was like holding me back is just over and gone. And I just
Mhm.
want to show them what I got. So I
Mhm.
want to like everything like just to be
Yeah.
perfect and hundred
Mhm.
percent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
confidence level definitely showed.
Those small things really they really matter. Like
Yeah.
everything, like
Because you
most
know
said
when
from
you're
head to
on and you
toe.
look the part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we talked about like at the Miss International Wellness, Francielli, the thing she changed, even though she won, but she
Yeah.
changed the color of her suit, and
Yeah.
we love her in red,
Yeah.
and she had like a what was it?
It
Not
was, it's like
teal.
So it's like a
blue,
blue.
like blue.
Yeah.
Right. And it's hard for us as women
Yeah.
because, we'll have a certain look and we feel
Yeah.
really comfortable and confident in
Yeah.
it. And then it's like I think we always feel like we do have to like change our
Change
suit.
it
If
up.
red fits, we want to. You
Yeah.
just feel like you need to change that, but
Right.
we don't. Then, right, Mo? If it's not
No.
broken, then don't
Yeah,
fix it.
Sandy always says
Yeah,
that too. Like if your suit fits you, wear it until it falls off. As long
Yeah.
as the shape is there and it creates the shape within your physique by all
Right.
measure. Sometimes you can change the color and it can actually, ruin the
yeah.
whole look. So
Right.
you got to be
It
really
is,
careful
it
with that.
is, it is very funny because that reminds me that at the beginning when I started, I started with a specific look, and because the judges didn't know who I am, um, still, I was just like, my coach was like, don't change your look because there's like so many figures. Then
Yeah.
if you keep changing it, they're not gonna know who you are.
Yeah.
So that is why, like right now, like since they know who I am, I'm like
Mhm.
playing with like with. I love to change. I used to be a model, so I
Uh-huh.
used to like do like different
I
kind of
mean, you still are.
like. Oh, thank you. Different kind of styles of my hair, like
Yeah.
changing like all the time, the looks. So I really
Yeah.
love that because I always want to like bring something different on stage, but also I'm careful that everybody likes what I'm
Yeah.
bringing. So when I
Mhm.
changed to the braids, like people were like, "I love it! Like you look so
Mhm.
fierce," and that's my personality, But I also like to be like sexy. I'm Puerto Rican. I have that on my blood, so
Yes,
I want to
yes.
show that also on stage. And I think that when you have that personality, no matter what you
Yeah.
wear, but also you need to be conscious that there's like some specific things that the judges like of you
Hmm.
on stage,
Mhm.
that you need to bring that and just like keep it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Definitely. I
Yeah.
like that because even from the Masters win, obviously you were polished and looked great to the O. Just that little tweaking, I think,
Mhm.
really it caught my eye. Just from afar. When I
Mhm.
watched it, and I was like, oh my god, that little adjustment was absolutely. You nailed it. It was
Oh my
beautiful,
Mhm.
God, thank
and it
you.
could tell like when you
We need,
walked out.
hey, we need to have you as an Olympia judge.
Got it. I've talked, yeah,
Um,
maybe
let's
one
talk
day. I was
about
gonna
that.
say maybe one day try
Like
that.
let's get out of the fluff and the foo foo real quick, and let's get diving deep and dirty here, ladies. Okay,
Okay.
because we gotta talk about this. We have uh Jessica and Sid. All right, the two of them they've kind of separated themselves, right?
Mhm.
We have Lola too in the mix, and we'll bring her up also. But we do have a little bit of a battle, I would say.
Oh yeah.
Sid has hung on to this title, but right here we have. So here's the front, here's the back. Okay,
Mhm.
we'll start with the front. And Jessica, what have you been told by the judges? Because I'm looking at this, and before we talk about what we think, let us know what feedback you've gotten and what your thoughts are.
Wow, I think she looks like fabulous. Like, I mean, it's just you're what, 5'7",
Yeah.
Jessica? Yeah, just
Yeah.
perfect physique. I mean,
So
I
Jessica, did you
I
get
believe.
feedback from the masters to the O? Like, have you talked to Sandy and Tyler or Steve and got direct feedback from them?
Well, actually, what they told me, I reached them like probably like through 3 weeks before the Olympia, and they told me to not get any leaner.
Okay.
So that was like kind of like the advice that they give me. Like I don't have the
Mhm.
problem of like getting like very conditioned. Actually, I need
Mhm.
to eat a lot for not me be able, for me to not show that many like
Right.
condition of striations,
Yeah.
Mhm.
especially on my glutes. But we just always like try to go for what the judges are looking for figure, and I think that is like the full round shoulders, like a
Mhm.
V type, small waist, condition it, but not too much conditioning, not feathers on the
Mhm.
quad. So I think that we are bringing like what figure like should be
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
look like full, but
Yeah.
also with the conditioning and
Mhm.
just the separations on the
Right.
quads and everything. So I mean, like I think that we have been doing a really really good job so far.
Mhm. Mhm.
I know
Mhm.
like one of the things specific like for me, it's like the back post. Like if you look personally for me, like I'm working more like what is like my hamstrings and my glutes, But other than that, I think that, I mean, the conditioning is there. I think that
Yeah.
the maturity is there, the density is there. Um, you could like see all the details, but I like I said, I respect like the judges and their feedback that they give me, because of them and whatever they, every time that they tell me something, I always I work on it, and I
Mhm.
always I bring a better package the next time that I get on stage.
Mhm.
I don't care if it's
Mhm.
like 2 months after, like 2 weeks
Mhm.
after, or just 1 month, because I
Mhm.
do 5 6 shows per year, and that's one
Mhm.
of the things that they always I tell me, like no matter how many shows you do, every time that you get on stage, you always look better and better and better. And that is why I
Mhm.
love like competing, because it keeps me on track, but
Mhm.
also make me and my coach know how my body reacts.
Mhm.
And honestly, it's been less and less what I have been doing like during the past year. So it's
Mhm.
exciting.
Yeah. So was that a strategic move when you decided to go and compete in the Masters Olympia? It was because the Masters Olympia, was it 4 weeks out from the Olympia?
No, it was 8.
It was eight. It was
Yeah,
eight. Yeah.
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 This is Jessica and Danya. She took second.
Yeah.
The front
Oh,
and the
DJ.
back.
And here's a question I have for you, because I know they hate to see you coming. I know that, but hey, listen, like to me, um, figure, when you look at, like, for example, Kaltwasser, and she has that, I think she has like 40 something wins, and
43.
43. And sometimes it's a lot easier, even though I feel like anytime you step on stage, it's a lot of work, but it's a lot easier for, let's say, a bikini competitor to go from competition to competition. But in the figure division, you guys, you train hard, you train heavy, your diet is the same as a bodybuilder, what the guys are going through, what the women bodybuilders are going through. So it's a lot more challenging to, maybe you're not going to do 40 shows a year,
Yeah.
so I can only imagine what the athletes think, because
Yeah.
when I go and look at the list of, prior to that show, and I see your name on there, and then you consistently also, you've always crossed over and competed in masters.
So
Yeah.
basically, have you felt the shade? Do you feel the shade?
Do you?
Well,
And
I mean,
Do you
I'm not
feel the
gonna be honest with
shade?
you. When I did the Master Olympia, that was after I won the Texas Pro. That it was the
right.
weekend
Yeah.
before that. And I think that the kind of person that you are, how you treat people, when you are on stage, behind backstage,
Mm,
or even in your social life,
mm,
when you do events, because you know that I'm in every single workshop that they do, because I love like to
Yeah.
support, the industry. But when they get to know you, even when you're competing against them,
mm,
they're happy for you, and they just,
mhm.
I have done so many shows that the figure sisters have come to me to tell me, my dream was to step on stage with you. Like,
Yes.
I don't care if I place or not, but it's an honor for me to be there.
Mhm,
And that's one of the
mhm,
things that I told you when you interviewed me, Linda, in the Master Olympia.
mhm,
Why why don't give the opportunities to
mhm,
figure girls that they're starting to step on stage with an Olympian, so
mhm,
they know how they look comparing to them, and
mhm,
giving the chance, like to be there with you. Like, that's a dream come true for them. and
mhm.
and the way that
Absolutely.
you talk with them, and you make them feel about themselves, and just like keep going and encourage them, just like to go for it,
Mhm,
because there's never like too late. Like, you can
mhm,
just keep going and keep
Yeah.
improving and get better. So they're like pretty
Yeah.
excited about
mhm.
me. I don't have any issues about,
Yeah.
oh my God, why you here,
Haters.
like you shouldn't be
Right.
competing, like you
Mhm.
qualify already. So
Yeah.
they're
Right.
kind of actually like happy for me. They take pictures with me,
Yeah.
and I take the time also like to talk to them
Yeah.
backstage, and
Mhm.
when we're doing shows.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I want to bring Mo into this a little bit, by starting off and saying, Jessica, we've talked about this before. Okay,
Yeah.
the judges have told you to back off on your muscle, but at the same time, they reward you more when you have more muscle. So you're kind of caught between a rock and a hard place, right? And I
Yes.
want to bring Mo into this because I think that it would be fun to kind of start talking about the evolution of the division, we can share some photos of the evolution. And then Jessica, you can chime in and let us know your thoughts about the evolution and how it's affected you. So Mo, I'm going to put you on the spot first. Okay.
Yep.
We're going to do a little trivia here and start off with, you're gonna list off and you're gonna do your absolute best.
To remember.
Okay, so who was the very first Miss Figure Olympia in
2003.
2003, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's when it started. Davani or Davinia Medina.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
She won
Right.
3.
Okay. You are ding, 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 ding. Okay.
But you know what's great? Because it reminds me of, too, when I was competing, how I remember when Sandy used to yell us on a stage in figure if our arms were too far out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now,
No,
like,
now we're like,
yeah.
Oh,
So this is the ladies and gentlemen, this is the very beginning of the figure division. Okay.
She looks great.
and so she won 3 years, 2003, 4, and 5.
Yeah. So Mo, who was the next?
Jenny Lynn.
Good. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She did good too. And Jenny Lynn, God bless her. We miss her. She was a heck of a, I loved her.
I know.
They started there the arms having
She's still pinching her back. She needs to open up those lats, you could tell that. She could be a whole lot wider. She was wider than she appeared right there. And you guys got to remember too, pictures at the still shot moment, 5 seconds after that, she might have opened up too.
Yeah.
I always like to tell everybody, keep in mind,
I
just
mean,
because it was a moment in time, so she might have adjusted. So
Mm-hmm.
yes.
All right, Mo, who's next?
Let's see. Jenny,
2008.
she went 3 years also, didn't she?
Yep. And then 2008.
Jenny Gates.
Good job. Yeah.
And I don't remember Jennifer Gates.
Oh wow.
She was so pretty. But she needed to build those glutes. She needs to open up that back.
Everyone's holding back. Everyone
and see, even in this case right here in 2008, from the rear. So who did she beat? Because in the rear, she's soft. Her rear.
Absolutely.
She beat curly hair. I'm drawing a blank.
I remember. I think Amy Fry was in that list.
Amy Fry, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
She was from
Gina Aliotti.
Oh yeah, Gina.
Gina was.
I remember she used to get in trouble for getting too lean and too big.
Yeah. And then we had
Gina had a great physique.
So then in 2009, we had a new emerging champion who would take over for a little while. Well, back and forth, kind of.
Erin and Nicole. So it was Nicole first.
Nicole was first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then
and let's see, because I turned pro in 2009. So I remember I loved Erin Stern. I was kind of Erin Stern shape fan.
So then in 2014, this is when you had your car accident, Jessica?
Yes.
2014. Okay. And were you familiar with
yes.
You knew who
when
Nicole?
I decided it was Nicole Wilkins and then Erin Stern.
Okay. Jessica, I like you too. Erin Stern to me had that really broad shoulder, naturally athletic frame.
Mm-hmm.
I was always a fan of hers coming up there. I think Jessica, I heard you say that too.
Then I think that after that it was Larissa Reese.
Yes.
Yeah, Latoya Watts.
Latoya Watts.
Oh, Larissa, you said
Larissa.
Latoya.
Yes. So Latoya. It's hard to say. It's a unique name.
Latoya.
I said it wrong for a long time, but Latoya. When Latoya came out, I think that's when the game changed. Yeah. She came out and she held her muscle. Kind of reminds me of Lenda, you in your era. Not super lean, but you held a lot of muscle, and it was just pop, and it had such beauty. Yeah. And a lot of girls trying to keep up with this look had to get a lot more muscular, a lot harder, and it was really difficult to keep up with that, right?
Yeah, my physique was very different my first time around when I returned in 2002, night and day. You just get better. Your body, your physique gets better. Yeah.
Maybe she'll come back.
So
Mo, what was your thought when Latoya came out and she took the title? What what was your thoughts on that?
When I see her, I mean, the waist, I mean, I just like, she needs to go thank her mom and dad for those genetics. I mean, that little tiny waist and the muscle bellies are so round. Like you were saying, her genetics allows her to still, she didn't have to be as tight to show off that roundness, that shape, because she just automatically has it. I think she needs to raise her suit up a little higher on her, because I would even help her waist a little bit more, because she is so beautiful in that small little waist, which helps. And then those lashes flare out. It's just, and see how she's posing so relaxed, but still nice and wide. Oh my, I love it. She just looks so effortlessly doing that to perfection. I loved her physique.
So I do remember when Jim Mannion, he was so excited. I hadn't seen him in a while, and he said, "You have to see this Latoya Watts and her, you know, the structure and her level of muscularity." So he was really excited about.
Yeah, she was like a flower that just opened. It was like that pretty rose, and it's like, oh.
So we could say, like, honestly, then Latoya was the one who actually changed the figure division.
I agree.
I think
Because
so.
she was the first one, like, bringing that maturity, that X frame, like, so perfectly that every figure girl after that wanna like bring that too on stage.
Because if you think about her, Sid's the same way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then we had Sid.
Yeah.
Sid. Again, I couldn't actually online. I couldn't find a shot where she was fully in her front shot. I don't think that she's totally hitting it completely. When it's like when the camera captures it just right, it's flawless. She has this insanely tiny waist, great shape. Everything's popping. Nothing is overly shredded or lean. This is a hard look to keep up with. I'm in the division. I can say that.
Yeah, we had one of the fans wrote in that he says, personally, I think more leaner should be rewarded, especially these days. And that's Brian.
But overall, it's not a diet contest. It's still about a shape contest. So people have to, you know, you still have to have genetics play in there and add some muscle to it. Because then, like, we can get somebody super skinny and conditioned to the hill and they win, you know, and that's not right.
Yeah.
I think that the perfect balance is like showing that conditioning, but also the fullness of every single muscle. Because most people like got confused, and they think that when they're flat, actually that they look like leaner or more conditioned, but it's like you don't show the fullness of the muscle. So that's the hard part.
Yeah.
You got to have that symmetry.
Yeah, I actually agree. And I've said this a million times about the figure division. To me, it's just like the standard. It's an example of our industry as far as the women. And where I look at a figure competitor and I want to see your shoulders and your biceps and your triceps and your back and your small waist and just the beautiful lines. So,
like used to be in bodybuilding, huh, Lenda?
Yeah, absolutely. And it should be that way across every division, and it is. And that's I think now with the 6 divisions for the women, we're finding our place. Would you say that, Mo? That
I do.
That we're at a place now where, you know, even with the bikini division, I think like how it's evolved.
I think it's wonderful because it allows us to figure out what suits us best, you know, because not everybody can or wants to get as, you know, lean or big as, you know, bodybuilder and women's physique, you know, and, or some that aren't totally balanced from upper to lower and, you know, more bottom dominant, like wellness, which is wonderful because there's a lot of girls that were having a hard time trying to fit in to figure or bikini. And I love it now that they, you know, you don't have to fit, you could do something that makes you happy and you're not just killing yourself to try to get into a division.
Totally.
So the evolution of it's been fantastic for females. I mean, you guys, we have 6 divisions, you know, guys have 4.
Right.
You know, that's phenomenal.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So Jessica, let's I want to actually talk to you about some of the behind the scenes, and I'm sure the fans want to know some of the some of the dirt, some of the juice from your Olympia battle. So we'll show a little bit of that footage. Segue into that. Do you think it is possible to take out Sid? D Dash wants to know.
Yes.
Of course, everybody's beatable, of
Absolutely.
course. And I think that one of the things that I also like people realize when Latoria won, nobody thought that it would be someone that could take her out.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because I remember I met her. I met Latoria at the Arnold when she won, actually, the Arnold too, and everybody were like saying like she's unbeatable. That
Mhm.
small
Yeah.
waist, like nobody is gonna like take her out. Like whenever like she
Yeah.
decide to retire, and then Sydney comes like slowly but
Mhm.
consistent,
Mhm.
and she got it. So I just like think that it's not about you competing against people,
Mhm.
Yeah.
not me competing against me. It's just competing about myself, just to bring the
Mhm.
best package, the best of myself. And I know for sure that I still got room to improve,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and I still got some gas on my tank.
Mhm. Oh
So
yeah.
this year is gonna be really really exciting.
Yeah, and I can tell you that I always had that person like you, Jessica. When I competed, it was a Laura Creval, and Laura Creval, she would. I had more size than her, but her conditioning, her abdominals, she would come in great shape. And trust me, it's. I lost the Olympia 3 times, so it's just that's the way it goes.
Yeah.
You know.
Nobody ever knows about the ones that you lost.
Mhm. Mhm.
People only know about the ones that you won.
But that is
So
the
Yeah,
good thing.
yeah,
That is the good thing because
yeah.
that's how we see her like an example,
yeah.
Mhm.
because it's not about, yes, it's about your wins, but
Mhm.
coming after a loss and then like get it back again. That's
Mhm.
what really make you a champion, because most
Mhm.
people, they just like get in their heads, and they just they lose themselves because of
Yeah.
that.
Mhm.
And she didn't make it happen, so it's
Mhm.
not an example. Just like keep going no matter what. If you still want to do it, just go
Yeah.
for it. For example, like Angelica right now, she's like Angelica Teixeira. I
Yeah.
love her. We train in the same gym, we're like kind of like neighbors. And when
Yeah.
she told me, Jessica, I want to like go back, and I'm like, some people have been like telling me just like to keep myself retired. And
Yeah.
I asked her like, how, like, what do you feel? Do
Yeah.
you really feel
Mhm.
that fire inside of you that want to like keep going and get
Yeah.
back to that stage? She's like, yes, I do. And I'm like,
Mhm.
just go for it,
Yeah.
because this is
Mhm.
a decision that you just need to make for yourself. And you're
Mhm.
gonna be such a good example having 2 kids, like being retired for 2 3 years and then get back
Mhm.
and looking the way that she looked
Oh
at
yeah.
the
Mhm.
Arnold. I mean, it's amazing. And I
Mhm.
think that give more meaning to your career than a title.
I agree.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Completely.
yeah, because she placed third, right?
Fourth.
She
Fourth.
placed fourth. Let's
That's
see
amazing.
tomorrow. Let's see
Yeah.
tomorrow at the Arnold
Amazing.
UK.
But and to add to it, Jessica,
Amazing.
for as many shows as you do, the mental strength it takes on top of the physical is truly amazing too. Like, I always say that a lot of people can get in their way, and it seems like you're such a true champion mentally to allow
Mhm.
yourself to be so,
Mhm.
wonderful physically. So are there some mental things that you put into play to help yourself stay that route for so long?
I'm just like telling you, God is my source.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Whenever, like, because we are humans, we're gonna struggle, we're gonna have situations. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, and it's a lot, and also like competing is not cheap. So you need to have
Yeah.
your job, you need to make it happen. But when you see that this journey is not just about yourself, it's about what you could do, for other people, and use it as a platform just to change other people's life. Like whenever like you struggle, whenever you feel like you want to give up, you look at all of that things around you, and it's like, no, this is not even for me. This is like for the
Mhm.
people that is watching me, for the
Mhm.
people that they're looking after me, that they feel I make them feel better, that I'm like leading by example. I got my son that when he got situations, he was like, you know why, mom? Like, even though how hard it is, and sometimes I feel like I want to like give up, I wouldn't do that because you never showed me that. I
Oh,
have seen you fighting. I have seen you struggling, but you never give up. You always keep going, no matter how hard it is. And
Mhm.
those things, and having my husband in my side, it's like it make everything worth it,
Mhm.
mm,
completely worth it,
Mhm.
because you're showing more than just your physique. You're showing commitment. You're showing like self-esteem. You're showing consistency and determination. You
Mhm.
show how strong you could mentally and physically you
Mhm.
are. And
Mhm.
sometimes those situations, those struggles, is that when it shows you how strong you are, because
Mhm.
sometimes we don't even know,
Mhm.
yeah.
and that makes you realize I'm able to do everything I want through
Mhm.
Jesus who give me the strength.
Yes, yes, that's outstanding.
That would be such a dream.
Yeah, I first saw you on that stage in Puerto Rico, and
And
your
I
mom
Oh
was
my God.
there. That was like just amazing. I'm like, who is this woman? And
yeah,
your mom was there, and just
That
yeah,
was
you're
like the
fierce.
first
I think
time.
of the word fierce when I think of you.
Oh,
Like really, I feel your energy and your
yeah.
focus, and I've seen you at so many shows on stage. Yeah, just
Fierce
fierce.
line, but she's got that big old heart. Because I love seeing her work with others like you did at the workshop too. You're awesome.
We uh we have here you went to the NBC gym in Pittsburgh. You got
yes.
some feedback from the that's what I got the chance to experience that this past year, and it's really cool because you go to the gym and you train and you get feedback like 4 or 5 weeks out from the show from the judges who will be judging you on the
Mhm.
Olympia. Tyler, Bill Siblia, and Etala. And
Yes.
so tell us about that experience because we're looking at the video here. And how far out were you here?
That was, let me see, after, that was after Romania, I think that it was. Yes.
Okay,
Mhm.
Was after I came back from Romania. I think that it was like two weeks after that.
okay,
Mhm.
I think that it was like 6 weeks, 5, 6 weeks out from the Olympia.
wow,
Mhm. And
Yeah,
how
and
much do you weigh on stage?
137,
Okay.
138.
Wow, that's awesome. And you
Yeah.
look so in person, like so tiny. Like when we were doing the battle, and I was looking at
Yes,
your
everybody
hips,
tells me that.
so tiny.
yeah,
So
yeah,
they like my husband the other day was like talking about this bodybuilder. Who was it that he looks like normal, and then when he flexed, it was like a really famous bodybuilding, and he was like telling me, you are kind of like him. Like when you walk, you just like walk normal, you don't see
Mhm.
like no details, no nothing, and then when you start like flexing, it's like you show like
Uh-huh.
everything.
Yeah.
And I mean, I love
uh-huh.
that. Like getting back to one of the things that you want to talk, Wendy, about like the transition and everything that figure have been, changing. And I love the way that it used to be. I
Yeah,
mean, like I'm adding size because, like you said,
yeah,
I have been placing better, but it's not like the look that I would loved. I think that before it was like more like an athletic look,
yeah,
Mhm. Mhm.
and
Mhm.
but hey, like you do whatever you need to do, like to
Yeah. There we
place
go.
good and make it worth it. So
yeah.
I don't know if that would change since they started like to downsize, the
Yeah.
divisions, and probably they started with the guys and then later on probably with the
Mm-hmm.
females. Like we
Yeah.
don't know, since we have now like so many divisions. Like I
Mm-hmm.
bet that they want
Right.
to like make sure to make that line very clear between, you know,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
wellness and woman's physique.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
figure, unfortunately, we are in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys, and it looks like the alignment of the top 10, it's pretty much you guys are in alignment. I mean, when I look at let's see, because Natalie,
Natalia
Nicole,
Sotero.
Yeah.
right? I would say that top 10, it's consistent. It's not like the girls that are fifth, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and ninth looks drastically different. You're in alignment. So to
Yeah.
me, it's yeah.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
that
So you look
muscularity and
at
the
that
conditioning, it's
here and you
pretty sound.
see, um, and I can't even believe her name is skip passing me right now. She
Which
plays
one?
third. She's on
Lola.
my show.
Lola.
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 Yeah.
Lola, her quads, when I see her in
Oh,
person, her quads, she has quads that remind me of women's physique
Yeah.
I remember
sometimes, you
when you
know?
said, I thought that she was physique coming here to work out because you didn't realize that it was Lola.
Right, that is Lola in off season. Yeah, but if you look at the lineup, look at the size of the women, across the board.
Yeah.
And with her, she can help soften that appearance, not to flex those quads, especially from that back, to keep those toes. Sometimes if you put your toes in too close or too, out, you notice that when she rolled out, you could see that quad from the front.
Yeah, you mean Lola?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I noticed that. You mean she kind of keeps her knees, brings her
Yeah.
knees
Close, so she
inward
doesn't
so that
roll out. Yeah. So you don't see those
yeah,
from the
I
front.
see that. I just saw
So
her
she
do
can
that.
roll back.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, yeah.
Trying to go
It's
back.
like also like Lola like to flex a lot like her calves.
Yeah.
So she kind of like plays also like her feet like to be able to actually like do that on
Mm-hmm.
stage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. when we get to the back, I'm gonna pause it so that we can take a look at that.
Okay. And to the far
So
left, is that Sherry? Is it Sherry Richardson?
Cherish. Yeah.
yeah,
Cherish
Cherish.
Richardson.
Yeah.
Yes.
right.
So this is her first time being in that top, like an
The top first call out.
Yes.
Yeah.
She won the Pittsburgh Pro.
But we
That's
do
like
see, so
qualified.
this is what you're talking about, right? So she has
Yeah.
can you guys see my cursor?
Yes.
Yes, I can.
Right here, her ankles are far apart and her toes are together. And
Yeah.
her calves she's really, really posing for her calves.
Yes,
Yeah.
but she's bringing
The
her
opposite of
knees
everyone else.
inward. Is that what you're saying, Mo? She's bringing
Yeah.
her knees
She's trying to
inward.
offset, not show those quadriceps so much, because I'm sure they
Right.
told her if she points those
Right.
toes out, you'll be able to
Right.
see that quad from the front.
Right, because between the three of you, I can see the gap between your knees
Yeah.
there on Jessica, on all the way down to Cherish.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I do feel like when I turn my knees out, it actually makes my calves look smaller and it gives more of that hourglass shape, which is, it's interesting because Lola has, I mean, arguably probably the most developed calves of any bodybuilder in any
I mean,
division.
comparing to
Yeah.
others, I think
I don't care.
I don't think that they judge like
Yeah.
calves because if it wouldn't be for that, Lola would be first.
Right, right. But I think I do believe that the main reason she's doing that is
Yeah.
because of her quads.
Right.
Like Mo
Yeah.
said.
And
It's
like
not
she
that
was
she's
saying,
trying to show her calves. She's trying to not highlight her quads.
Mo,
Yeah.
what do you think? This is a question for you because I think that I get this, I hear this from a lot of athletes. They say, are they judging for calves? Are they judging for abs? Like, what is your take on
The whole
specific body
package.
parts? Right.
The whole package. Because like if you're focusing on the calves, I always say best calves or abs don't win a show.
Right.
But what they can do is hurt you too. Like if they dominate your physique and mess up the whole balance, it can be a distraction. So it could be a flaw for that. So you want everything to flow. You don't want, your eyes stop at the quads or the calves because it offsets the whole frame. Where if you see with like Sid, especially like it's just flow from from her ankles all the way up to the top, it's just a nice flow, that illusion of the line going all the way up. She didn't have a break, a stop, like the calves are too big, the quads are too big. Everything just balances and flows right into that next body part.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
It's
totally.
X-frame. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I have a question. I mean, the Miss International, you competed in the Miss International in 2018, 2019, and 20 when we had COVID. And then you competed in the Olympia. And then Arnold, he decides to not return Figure in 21, and we have not seen Figure on that stage, which is very disappointing. So you loving to compete, I'm sure that's a show you would compete in. How do you feel about um, Figure not being at the Miss International?
Well, I truly believe that it's not just about like figure. I think that we the federation have been like working like so hard like to bring divisions that females could fit in, and now that we already have that, it's like kind of like sad to not have not just figure but like women's bodybuilding, especially like now that Jay Woods is like trying like to bring it back. I mean, I truly believe that he cannot just like do that job by himself. I think that he needs like a lot of like support, like, because honestly, like we work as hard as the guys and everybody
Yes.
else, and I think that
Yes.
we deserve that spotlight to show what we have been working on, and that we also uh bring to the industry.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody wants to be fitness, not everybody wants to be
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
bikini.
Mm-hmm.
So that is why all the divisions are here.
Right.
Yes.
and
Yes.
Right.
and I mean, and to not have like specifically the divisions that they show more
Muscle.
muscles.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't like, honestly, I don't get it.
I
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
agree. I don't
like i
either.
don't i don't get it.
I don't
Um,
get it.
let's all give our thoughts.
Yeah.
I have some thoughts to share, but I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna hold
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Linda,
I
you, and then
mean, I do feel that Figure, like I said, is representative of our, like, of the women. You
yeah.
know, if I had to create a statue, a trophy, it would be of the figure competitor.
Hmm.
And because you represent everything from
Yeah.
women's bodybuilding all the way to the bikini division.
Yeah.
So it's so obvious to me, and I think this is the part that's, I would be uncomfortable as a promoter
Yeah.
to, and this is not saying anything negative about bikini or wellness, and definitely not fitness, but it's like, okay, I'm going to have the women that can do tricks for me.
Yeah.
Fitness girls, they can flip, you can do tricks. Okay. I'm going to have the women that we're going to really, like, a lot of the sexuality.
Yeah.
We'll focus on that, of the, and I think sexuality, I see sexuality in women bodybuilders. I see it.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that there's more sex, like,
You're beating around the bush a little bit, but
yeah, and to me, I don't understand how, as a promoter, you feel comfortable excluding the women that you just
Right.
can't, you should not exclude.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I also feel that, and let me say this really quickly, is that when you look at all three divisions that
Yeah.
he included, there were a total of, let's say, 30 women. I think
Yeah.
they had 12 in each category.
Yeah.
If you take all of the money that was given to all three of those divisions, the guy that placed fifth in the open, he made more money
Yeah.
than all three of those divisions as far as the prize money.
Yeah.
And there's something wrong with that.
Yeah.
You mean Laura Lee walked away with $7,000 first?
Yeah.
place. You couldn't add another 3 to make it 10 grand.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they always talk, like you were saying, about money. And you represent a man that brought all divisions back, the women's bodybuilding, to the Olympia, you know, Mr.
Needs to
Jake
be
Wood.
said.
And it's like, okay, if men had 6 divisions, would they just cut it in 3? I understand everything's about money. I get it. But we all started from bodybuilding. I mean, regardless of the division you're in, bodybuilding started all for us.
Right.
And even all the way to bikini, it's a form of bodybuilding. Yes, it's a different shape, but it's still bodybuilding per se. But I would like to have known the round table on how they did make that decision. If they said it was about money, I would like to see, okay, I really think Figure still puts butts in the seats, you know, from just being a judge. And I pay attention to the audience all the time at all the shows, regardless regional or not, because just being a businesswoman I am, I start doing numbers. So I know they're like, I've heard conversations all about the money. Okay, well, if you start to talk about physiques and stuff, wellness has plenty of muscle on them too, you know, so it's not like they're not less muscular. So it's interesting. I don't know if it was Arnold per se himself, but if there's anybody else that can't get some sponsorship, it would be Arnold, correct? I mean, he can pull from different avenues. Where was I would like to know who cut off and why. You know, but Arnold can pull money. So if he can make the purse for Figure, women's physique, and bodybuilding, I applause to Jake for doing so.
Right.
You know, it'd be interesting. That was because I know it's all about money. I get it, but
one of the things that they actually like mentioned in the beginning, that it was not about money. It was like the Figure division didn't bring like enough depth.
Depth in what division? I mean, in what form?
Yeah.
And I think that was kind of like that hurt the most, not just because most people, they love to compete. It's not just about the money, you know. And when you just like not give that opportunity just because and then just say that it didn't bring enough depth, it's like you have like the top 10 Olympians competing there.
Right.
You are the one who actually invite the athletes that you want to have at your show.
Right.
So everybody that you wanted it to be was there. There's no one else.
Yeah.
So what else they want? Like
Well, so Jessica and I, we were fortunate enough to be a part of the very last Figure International, which I feel like that may be the last Figure International. So my thoughts are, what was that? So
I was going to ask you, what do you think?
I feel like there are 2 different things going on, and I feel like people are conflating these 2 things. So the first one is, I feel like from a business standpoint, I think that every promoter can and should be able to include whatever divisions that they want, because ultimately it's their business that they want to run, and not every show has every division. So if they want to have only certain divisions, then it's just another show. It takes them away from that prestigious, like almost level playing field with the Olympia, and that's fine, right? I think that's one thing. So the thing that people are conflating that with is the very end. What Arnold said was that he wanted to increase the prize money $100,000 for open bodybuilding by $100,000 more than the Olympia, because he wants to make their show a better show than the Olympia. Or he's dueling off now with the Olympia. That's a whole separate thing. So there's the issue of like how you want to run your business, and then there's the issue of, you know, if you're gonna be the one to like stir the pot, okay, well then that's when you come back at it and say, well, actually, it's not ever going to be able to be as just as the Olympia, because you don't have all the divisions, you don't include as much money overall. Jake is flying every single athlete in some divisions up to 50 athletes or more. 400 total, I think it was in 2023.
Yes.
So you've got 400 athletes, all the flights, hotel, per diem, all the prize money for all the divisions. And so the men's open bodybuilding prize purse was $400,000. So if the Arnold makes the prize purse $500,000, which could be $100,000 more than the open bodybuilding, it still is not. So that's a whole different argument. There's 2 things going on. People are kind of conflating the 2, because I'm a figure athlete, and I honestly don't. People can run their business however they want. If a
Yes.
show doesn't want to include a division I compete in,
Mm-hmm.
fine by me. But don't turn around and say that your show is equal or on par with a show that does include my division, right?
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. On
And
point.
it's kind of
On
also
point.
to add to that, Arnold always had those other three. You know, it wasn't like he like as a new promoter
Exactly.
you could pick it
Yes.
because you're starting off, or they
Mm-hmm.
started that way and then they dropped. You know, where
Mm-hmm.
Jake actually brought it up. You know, so
Mm-hmm.
there's that
Yeah.
part of it too.
So
And
it's not even one goes like this and the other one just go like that. So
Oh man,
Yes. Yeah.
good
you're the
call.
Yes.
I mean, I really like enjoy the last like Arnold that we did. But honestly, when they decided that year, I didn't thought that it was gonna be permanent because they
Mm-hmm.
were like, okay, so let's see, probably for next year we will bring it back.
right.
That's a specific year, girl. I did 7 shows. I was done. I was like, thank God that I can have a break. They don't have figure. Because how can you say no to the Arnold, right?
Right.
So
Right.
I was like done in
You're like,
December. Yes, my last show was November, at the end of November, something like that. I was like, oh my God. So I have been like almost like 2 years straight doing shows, no break, more than
Mm-hmm.
two and a half months.
you were low key happy about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, hey, okay. I was forced to take a break. I
Mm-hmm.
was so
Yeah.
sad about that. You
Yeah.
guys didn't have no idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't sad.
Well, guys, I think it's going to be time for us to wrap this up. And I just want to thank Ms. Olympia. Yes, Ms. Olympia,
Oh yeah,
Jessica
we can call her Miss
Reyes.
Olympia.
Yes, Ms. Olympia. Thank you. The most wins in the figure division. Thank you for all that you
Thank
do
you.
for the
Thank you.
sport. And,
You're
you know,
awesome.
you're just a true champion. It's just a matter of time, right?
Thank you
Keep
so
up the good
much.
work.
Yes,
Well,
yes.
thank you guys for having me, Mo. It was a pleasure to have you and
Thank you,
be here
dear.
with you. Linda, you know that my mom says hi, by the way.
Yes,
Every
tell her I
time that
said
I'm going to talk to
hello.
you, she always say, please say hi for me.
I
So
know.
thank you so much for everything that you guys are doing for the industry, and especially, like to bring, the females division, because we
Mhm.
really need that, like to grow and just have like equality and support each other in the way that you guys like are doing. You guys are doing an amazing job, and I'm really really happy always every time that you guys invited me to be part of this. So we're gonna like keep bringing a lot of good memories, and this year is gonna be really good year for everybody, for all of
Yeah.
us.
All
Oh
right,
yeah.
guys.
Thanks
Thank
for
you
having me.
to Mo Newman, to Wendy
Thank
Fortino,
you.
and to the woman with the most wins,
Oh
Jessica
yeah.
Reyes Padilla.
Bye
Bye, guys.
guys.
Bye.